My name is Lily. I am 30 years old. I live in a small town. This is my vintage story about my grandmother, who lived in a different time. Her life was full of interesting moments, and I love to share it. My grandmother, Rose, was born in 1920. She grew up during a time when things were very different. She lived in a small village with her parents and three siblings. Her father was a farmer, and her mother was a homemaker. They worked hard every day to provide for the family. As a child, Rose had many chores. She helped her mother with cooking and cleaning. She also took care of her younger siblings. Sometimes she felt tired, but she loved her family. They spent time together, sharing stories and laughter. In the village, there were no cars or buses. People walked everywhere. Rose loved to walk to school. She would meet her friends along the way. They would talk and laugh, making the journey fun. School was a place where she learned to read and write. She enjoyed her lessons and dreamed of a bright future. One day, Rose's teacher announced a special event. The school would have a talent show. Rose was excited. She loved to sing. She practiced every day, singing in her room. Her family encouraged her, and she felt confident. The day of the talent show arrived. Rose wore her best dress. It was a simple blue dress, but she felt beautiful. When it was her turn to sing, she took a deep breath and stepped onto the stage. The audience was quiet. She began to sing a lovely song about the stars. As she sang, she felt the music in her heart. The audience clapped and cheered. When she finished, she received a big round of applause. Rose smiled from ear to ear. That day, she discovered her love for performing. After school, Rose continued to sing. She joined a local choir and performed at community events. Her voice became well known in the village. People loved to hear her sing. Rose felt happy sharing her talent with others. As she grew older, Rose dreamed of traveling. She wanted to see the world beyond her village. One summer, she saved enough money to visit the nearby city. It was a big adventure for her. When she arrived in the city, everything was new and exciting. There were tall buildings, bright lights, and many people. Rose felt a mix of fear and joy. She explored the streets, visiting shops and cafes. She loved the energy of the city. One day, while walking in the park, Rose met a young man named Jack. He was charming and kind. They talked and laughed for hours. Rose felt a connection with him. They spent the whole day together, exploring the city and sharing stories. As summer ended, Rose had to return home. She felt sad to leave Jack, but excited to share her adventure with her family. They listened eagerly as she told them about the city and her new friend. Rose and Jack wrote letters to each other. They shared their dreams and hopes. Their friendship grew stronger with each letter. Rose felt happy knowing someone like Jack cared for her. After a year, Jack asked Rose to visit him in the city again. She was thrilled. This time, she traveled with her best friend, Emma. They had a wonderful time exploring the city together. Jack showed them around, and they made many memories. During her visits, Rose and Jack fell in love. They spent time talking, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. Rose felt like she was living a fairy tale. However, she knew that life was not always easy. As the years went by, Rose faced challenges. Her family needed help on the farm, and she felt torn between her love for Jack and her responsibilities. She decided to return home for a while. It was a difficult choice, but she wanted to support her family. While at home, Rose worked hard on the farm. She helped with planting and harvesting. She missed Jack, but knew she had to be there for her family. They appreciated her efforts, and she felt proud of her work. After some time, Jack wrote to Rose. He missed her and wanted her to come back. Rose felt a spark of hope. She longed to see him again. After discussing with her family, she decided to return to the city. When Rose arrived, Jack was waiting for her. They embraced, and Rose felt all her worries fade away. They spent time together, exploring new places and enjoying each other's company. Rose realized how much she loved Jack. One evening while walking in the park, Jack surprised Rose. He took her to a beautiful spot with blooming flowers. He knelt down and proposed to her. "Will you marry me, Rose?" he asked. Tears filled her eyes as she said yes. It was a magical moment she would never forget. They planned a simple wedding with family and friends. Rose wore a lovely white dress, and Jack looked handsome in his suit. The ceremony was filled with love and joy. They promised to support each other through thick and thin. After the wedding, they settled in the city. Rose found a job at a local music school. She taught singing to children and loved every moment. Jack worked as a carpenter, building beautiful furniture. They were happy together, building their life as a couple. As the years passed, Rose and Jack welcomed 2 children into their lives, a boy named Sam and a girl named Emily. Rose loved being a mother. She sang to her children every night, just like her mother did for her. The house was filled with laughter and music. Rose shared her love for singing with her children. She encouraged them to follow their dreams. Sam loved playing the guitar, while Emily enjoyed dancing. Rose felt proud of her family and their talents. One day, when Rose was cleaning the attic, she found an old box. Inside were letters from Jack, photos of their early days, and her old blue dress from the talent show. She smiled as she remembered those moments. It was a treasure trove of memories. Rose decided to create a scrapbook for her family. She filled it with photos, letters, and stories from her life. She wanted her children to know their family history. Each page told a story of love, dreams, and hard work. As her children grew, Rose continued to support them. She attended their school events and cheered them on. She taught them the value of kindness and hard work. Rose wanted them to chase their dreams, just like she did. One day, Rose received an invitation to perform at a local event. She felt nervous, but excited. It was a chance to share her passion for singing again. With her family's support, she decided to accept the invitation. On the day of the event, Rose wore a beautiful dress. She felt a mix of emotions as she stood on stage. The audience was filled with familiar faces. When she began to sing, she felt the same joy she had felt as a young girl. As she sang, she saw her children in the audience, smiling proudly. Rose poured her heart into the performance. The applause at the end filled her with happiness. She realized that her love for music had never faded. After the performance, her children rushed to her. "You were amazing, Mom!" they exclaimed. Rose hugged them tightly, feeling grateful for their support. She knew that her journey had come full circle. As Rose grew older, she continued to inspire others. She shared her story with young singers and encouraged them to follow their dreams. She became a mentor, helping others find their voice. One evening, as Rose sat with her family, she reflected on her life. She felt blessed to have experienced love, music, and family. Her vintage story was not just about the past, it was about the present and the future. Rose taught her children the importance of family and dreams. She wanted them to cherish their memories and create new ones. Life was a beautiful journey, and she was grateful for every moment.